Welcome to Optimize Every Day, where we're looking for a 1% improvement daily. And that set of improvement we should be able to see in small increments. And in the last 2 weeks, we've been putting this out. So we thought we would give you a brief idea of what we've accomplished. So basically, we should have made a 14% improvement in what we've done, and maybe a little bit more because
Or less.
we just posted video 14. What improvements have you seen?
It's been a trying 2 weeks. It's been tough, tumultuous, all those big words that I don't use. I'd say overall it's a win, it's success, but some really hard moments. Some things that I thought would be there after I achieved a certain part of it and then it wasn't there. So having to readjust, change course, and you're like, man, this is frustrating to do this. And then you find out at the end of that it's the right idea because it led you to 3 new things. So every setback is kind of a setup for a comeback, man. And you just have to keep.
I've seen your past successes, and I have seen in you a level of frustration that you have not been achieving that same level of success that you have previously.
Yeah, I haven't been able to climb back to that and more. I don't even want that level. I'm trying to go all the way, right? So it's like, being so, like we talked about for the last 2 weeks, it's a personality thing. I'm hyper competitive. The other people in my field, I don't plan anything for second or third place. If it's not first, it ain't winning, and I just, so everything I plan is for first place. And when it doesn't work out, highly frustrating. I go back to the drawing board.
I can see that. I see that sometimes you aren't focused on your successes as much as you're focused on beating out. And
Yeah.
so sometimes I feel like, and this is just me talking, I think sometimes you overlook simple things that are holding you back a little bit.
Exactly.
Because you're going in, and what made you successful before are things that won't make you successful today because the rules have changed, the metrics have changed, this has changed, that has changed. And you're wanting to try and game the system a little bit. No, not a little bit, a lot bit. And trying to figure out where you can find the right component piece that will launch you past. You're trying to make the effects big and bold, and sometimes I feel like you're forgetting about the actual concept, so much so that your content isn't what it could be. On the other hand,
It's different. Yeah, it's different types of content.
It's different than what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're frustrated at what I'm trying to do because it's not the same as what you're trying to do.
Yeah, we're both have a different concept on content matters and stuff like that. I kind of look at it like when you have like luck, for example, right? Luck can just happen. It's easy, it just happens, right? Like stuff happens. But true dominance and success is a formulation to me. There's no great sports team that just falls into the championship. It doesn't happen. You have to formulate, you have to plot, and you have to be better. Even if your athletes on your team aren't as good as the next team, you can still win and get the championship if you are a better scientist. You have to formulate, you have to plot and scheme, and
You remind me of Billy Bean.
yeah, that's what it is. I mean, and in my life, that's what I've seen everywhere in the world. I've lived in so many states and so many countries. This is just what I see, and I've been in all these different industries, from the music industry to social media to technology. I've been to the tops of all these industries. I've seen everybody, seen everything, and this is what I can clearly tell anyone. Some people can get lucky. It's possible. But do you go out competing depending on getting lucky, or do you plot and scheme with formulations that will cause you to win no matter who you face? So that's kind of how I look at it.
I feel like that luck is pulling a scratchers or drawing numbers and you win it big, or luck is where you work really hard and your preparation and your actions lead to a success
moment
where you have that one moment that just drives things and leads to big events. And then once you've got that, then you just have to maintain it.
Yeah.
And it's easier to maintain than it is to let things fall.
Yeah, I love that you said that about the luck coming into the moment. Like, it's a proper prior preparation prevents poor performance thing. So
it's why sports teams practice.
It's why you practice. There you go.
And that's why they watch tape after tape after tape.
And the coaches are instilling.
Then they go practice and practice some more, and then they go watch some more tape, and then they practice and practice some more. And these guys on these college football, professional football teams, they start practice at 6 a.m. and they'll go until 9 o'clock in the morning, and they'll go watch tape for 2 hours.
But some guys, there's a lot of guys, most guys don't. Most guys in industries and even sports, they are not meant to be the elite. They'll never be the elite. The reason they're not is because they don't have that discipline. They don't have that work ethic. Like Kobe Bryant, back when he played basketball, everybody would be like, wow, like the way he would be there so early. LeBron James, same kind of type of way. They get there very early. They're the first to get to practice. They're the last to leave, but they're the team leader. But they're putting in more work than everybody. And when everybody's partying Friday, Saturday night, these guys are in the gym working on moves, working on their body, and they have these bodies that last long. And, it takes a lot of pain to be that top spot, and you can't get it by being, it's very rare that I've seen, even on social media, anybody get it with rare material, with material that is not special. You have to be special to stand out in this world. And if you're not just like naturally special, like some people are just really good looking or really tall, right? They're naturally special. They're gifted, right? And some people are gifted with genius, but when you're not really gifted that way, you got to outwork them. You got to work harder, I believe.
Not everybody is an Einstein for sure.
Right.
But, even Einstein failed out of high school. There's a lot of very capable and competent people out there who don't reach the altitudes that they could because either they don't understand that they could get there,
or they don't want it.
They don't necessarily want it. There's a myriad of reasons why capable people don't reach the expectations that some people anticipate they could. On the other hand, there are people out there who excel beyond what some people can, and they barely even try. And people don't even see how good they could be because they're so good.
They have great ability.
And they just have natural great ability. I mean, not everybody's a Wayne Gretzky. And for those older or younger
Bobby
people.
Hole.
Those are hockey players that were primos of their day. I mean, there are other
Jaromir Jagr,
phenoms.
baby.
There's other phenoms out there as well. But not everybody can be a phenom. A lot of people can be as good as a phenom, but it requires a lot more effort.
Yes, I think it's effort level. You know, at the end of the day, the things that in my life that I've put little effort into, and I think it works chemistry wise for different people. When I put little effort into things, it just doesn't work because I think certain people like myself, too many people are kind of against you because of your personality type, right? So I don't have the type of personality that people usually, embrace and
That type of personality, though, sometimes can be self-defeating because you're after the gold so much that bronze just won't do it. And if you would step back just a little bit and say, okay, maybe the bronze is good for this situation, so I can reach the gold here.
Right. I do see that.
Would be better. And then evaluate why this needs to be bronze for the moment. And then once you reach the gold here, it makes it easier to bring
get
this
that
up.
bronze up.
It's kind of like a battle in a war. All right.
You're right though. That's what I did this week. Is once I discovered that I was taking one shot at the gold, and it was giving me, I wasn't able to get right to it. It made me go 3 different directions. Right. It made me send troops around this side. So now I'm in this 3-pronged system where I'm 3 shots.
Yeah.
And this one looks better than this one right now, but I know that one's going to catch up in a minute. So you're exactly right. That's what's going on right now. I have 3 different channels going now. And this is exciting.
Really is.
It's a better strategy.
It can be a better strategy.
It is.
But it could be a failing strategy if you're not being careful.
If you overextend yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to plot and plan when to put your time there and here, because if you try to do it all at once, you're not going to be able to lift that.
So ultimately, if you had to say, have you met your 14%? Do you think you've met that 14%? Or are you a little shy, or are you a little ahead?
No, I think we're way ahead. I think even looking at how your last 2 weeks has been, I think we're way ahead here. I think, I know things now that I did not know two weeks ago, right? Like just the information alone is 14% because that's knowledge, right? And I can use it. And so the things that I've had to learn over the last 2 weeks, the way that I've had to push myself, my biggest frustration for the last 2 weeks, you want to know what that is?
What's that?
Getting sick. If I wasn't out of the game, like I want to play every game, all game, right? If I wasn't out of the game for this day and that day and this many hours per day, that's my biggest frustration. Everything else, I'm cool with.
Those kinds of things are natural things that
I don't
have
want it.
impact, and those things are things that you have to learn how to deal with more effectively. I know that when you started feeling it, I gave you suggestions, and you put off.
I've never drank that much beer, though. Drinking all that beer.
That's not true. You didn't drink no damn beer.
Oh, I thought that's what you suggested.
No.
Oh.
You had suggestions to go in and see a doctor way sooner.
Yeah, I did
and
not.
And if you had done that,
I don't want to do it.
You would have been much better off.
I can't stand going to the doctor. I don't want to see I don't want to see a doctor, dentist, foot doctor. I don't want to see none of it. And I just want to keep working.
And I completely agree with you. I hate going to the doctor. unless absolutely necessary.
But you know, like I say, it's you can clearly see my personality type here. Just like an athlete on the field, you know, there's the ones who get hurt and are like immediately I have this and that, and you know, are you injured or are you hurt? Like really,
There's a difference between taking care of yourself and then playing the pansy and going in and doing something that takes you out of the game
for longer.
For whatever reason, instead of playing the game. But on the other hand, you literally took yourself out of the game longer than you needed to.
In the long run, that's what happened.
Because
Yeah.
you didn't go in and get your situation taken care of.
Not wanting to come out of the game because my ankle was messed up. Now I got a torn Achilles and I'm out for the season.
It's kind of like the guys that wanted to play so bad that they go in during halftime after a knee injury and they get juiced up with drugs.
Yeah.
And then they go play. And then at the end of the game, they come in and they go see the doctor and they go, "You're out for the next 3 weeks."
Yeah.
Had you just stayed out of the game that last half,
That's exactly.
you would have been able to play the next week.
That's exactly what happened, and
so that's what you did yourself.
That's what I did, and that setback. I mean, just being sick for that long, really, that was the worst part. Like everything else, there were some hits, and I was like, but see the hits, like I say, the regular hits, besides being sick, you know, those setbacks really paid off because I was able to span out. You know, it's like, oh, this business is struggling. Let me go around and create 2 more businesses over here, and then I can keep feeding this one what it needs to not struggle. So I'm really happy with the last 2 weeks, the daily progress, the focus on getting better per day. I think it's really, really helped.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the last 2 weeks? I know you started off hot. The first 5 days you were burning things up.
Well, I know I started into this being quite focused. My focus then went different directions, and then the focus has turned inward again. I'm making progress in a lot of different areas, and the improvement is happening. But some areas, it's easy for me to sit there and go, this piece didn't work, and it's not my fault because a website failing isn't my fault. But I have not hopped on the horse as quickly as I could to make phone calls in the morning because a lot of what I'm dealing with is I need to get to somebody 2 time zones east of me, and they don't start until 10 o'clock in the morning, and they finish at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon means 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me. And so with that time difference, it really makes it hard if I procrastinate just a little bit, something else creeps in and fills that space.
Yeah, because you have a small window of time.
And I have a small window of time. So I need to, I still need to improve on my procrastination of some time. I have identified that as a problem area for myself. So I know that is an issue I need to deal with. But I also know that my sleep schedule is not the typical average everyday sleep schedule. So those hours that most people are out there normally
getting
awake
it done,
and doing things.
and you're like needing to
I'm
sleep.
like, I'm needing to sleep because I've been up all night. And so it makes it really hard. It doesn't make it really hard. It makes it really easy to procrastinate. It doesn't make it hard to make the phone calls.
Yeah.
It just makes it
easier to excuse missing it.
Right. So I need to step up and I need to do what I need to do.
And you didn't take my advice. Schedule it out.
Actually, I did.
Did you?
I
Good.
did.
Well, hey, you didn't tell us about that.
So I have been scheduling out what I need to do, and
Mm.
I've been setting schedules for a lot of things, and I have been accomplishing a lot of things where when I schedule when it makes sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
But some things like scheduling that phone call
Mm-hmm.
is really hard because it that 2 hour difference in my head, it's 3 o'clock, but 3 o'clock is 1 o'clock, and it just screws with my head.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're used to things being open till 5, and then you think, oh, but this ends at 3, but 3 isn't 3, 3 is 1.
Different times here. Mm-hmm.
It really screws with your head.
Well,
And it's easy when you're talking, oh, 3 o'clock is actually 5 o'clock
actually
because
that
you're
time.
going west instead of going east. It's always easier going west until you get to a certain point, and then it's going east again.
Well, I would say in your case, your wife's good at stuff like that. So tell her, baby, put that on my schedule, right? Wife and secretary.
Yeah, she ain't my secretary.
Schedule it
She
in.
will tell you she is
you're
not
hers
my
too.
secretary.
I know you're hers.
So, I see that I have made progress. In some areas more than others. Have I gotten as much done as I wanted to? That's questionable. But have I reached that 14-15%? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we
Even
both
with
surpassed
that,
it.
even with that, there's still a long way to go. And I have a lot of things that need to happen in a very short period of time still.
Yeah.
And it's no fun having very tight deadlines.
It isn't. Or I mean, it can be if you're looking at like I say, the competitive mindset. If you make it a game, right? If you make it a game, it changes how you look at it.
Well, depends on perspective.
Yeah, it's a perspective. Life's about perception. Perceive it as a game.
So I think that our little experiment is working.
It is.
I think that tomorrow will be a new day, and we'll have a new show in, and we'll not delve on this so much, but we will be just checking and making sure that we are doing the improvement we need to do in the next 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're both
see
exhausted,
where
so it's hard
it
work.
leads to. So thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, and comment.
Subscribe alike.
That's exactly right. If I can talk as well.